what is abundance and what is a true abundance mindset, and how do we actually make abundance manifest in our lives. So the moment we start talking about this, there's a huge amount of people that, when you mention the word abundance, the first thing that comes to mind to most people is money. And people associate abundance with a enormous bank account, with millions in the bank account. But in true essence, that's not what abundance is. Abundance is something slightly different. Abundance does not necessarily mean you've got a lot of money. But part of abundance does mean you are wealthy. Part of abundance does mean you are healthy. Part of abundance does mean you are enjoying an abundance of joy in your life. Abundance means you've got a lot of love in your life. Sharing love, receiving love, giving love, enjoying love. So the word abundance is actually a very wide word. And when I talk about abundance, as I said earlier, most people get excited about the money aspect of it, but there's more to abundance than that. I want to start off tonight and first explain why is it that some people don't experience abundance. Because I've seen rich people with beautiful life partners, with stunning careers, have no abundance in their lives. And the question is, how does that happen? I've seen extremely people that in our normal average definition might live in poverty or might have some really serious diseases, cancers, brain tumors. I've got a growth in my brain. Rian, how much cancer have you battled, young man? And he lives a life of abundance in health. So the mindset behind it is the critical component. So let's start off and ask, why is it that some people don't have abundance? The simple answer is because they're looking for it. I'm going to say that again. It sounds very simplistic, but it's actually quite complex. The reason most people don't have abundance is because they are looking for it. Now, I need you to understand something quickly. The moment we look for something, let's take something simple. Who's ever lost their car keys? Where you know you had it, you put it somewhere, and you just can't remember where you put it. So what are you doing? You are looking for it. Now, we need to understand on a deep subconscious level, the moment we look for something, the mind is confessing to itself it does not have it. I'll say that again, because that's one of the keys to abundance. The moment we look for something, we are confessing to self on a deep subconscious level. I want to go so far and say the heart brain is saying to self, I need to look for it because I do not have it. Now here's the concept behind this. One of the principles is in abundance is love. How much love is in the world? How big is your heart? How much love can you give? How much love can you receive? A friend of mine got a puppy dog the other day. I looked at this dog and I could just smell the puppy breath, and I just felt love. I've got a wife, I've got 3 gorgeous daughters, I've got a son-in-law, I've got a grandchild, I've got beautiful friends, I've got students, I've got colleagues, I've got neighbors, I've got a country, I've got a world full of people that I can love. So there's no shortage of people whom you can give love to. There's no shortage of people from whom you can receive love. You might say, oh, Dion, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Well, I'll show you about that. I'm convinced someone loves you. The question is, are you open enough to receive love, to experience it? Because love is a very strange thing. It's extremely contagious. It rubs off. It ignites the soul. It fills us with a beautiful joy and a contentment in life and a feeling of bliss and appreciation. Love is an amazing thing. But the question is, are you open enough to allow yourself to experience the love that is coming your way? Because here's the concept behind this. I want you to imagine for a moment that you're holding in your hand a plastic see-through bottle. Could be a glass bottle, if you don't like plastic. And in the bottle, there's a little bit of water from the ocean. And that water represents abundance in variety of different areas of your life. But somewhere in your life, it got a little bit of pollution in there. There's maybe a little bit of dirty oil in there. What we do usually when something like that happens, when we get hurt, when we lose something, when we make a bad decision, when an event happens, where something that we believe is outside of our control, when something happens, what we do is we look at the little bit we have and we say, I need to protect this. But I want you to imagine this little bottle. It's got a little bit of ocean water in there. There's a little bit of pollution in there. And you've now put a cap on it. And what you're doing is you're holding it to your chest and you're protecting it. But what are you actually protecting? You're protecting a small amount that you're experiencing and the pollution. What if that same bottle goes into the ocean, you take the cap off and you allow the ocean water just to flow in it and out of it, into it and out of it? What it will do, it'll cleanse a little bit of pollution in the bottle. And you will start experiencing an extreme amount of abundance flowing through you. Now let's look at this from the concept of love. Love works exactly that way. It works exactly that way. There are people, very often, they get hurt. Someone in your past broke your heart, cheated on you, stabbed you in the back, tried to run you over with a car. I don't know. There's a possibility that something has happened in your life and you got hurt. And the moment someone gets hurt, what do? Shut up. We close doors. We don't let anybody in. We build walls and we start protecting. Protecting what? The little bit we have. But the little bit you have has got an emotional attachment of hurt to it. That's the pollution. Can you truly enjoy polluted water? No, you can't. Can you truly enjoy a polluted feeling of love? No, you can't. Same rule applies to joy. Some of us as kids experience great joy. Some of us as children had events happen in our lives that stole our joy. Some of us as grown-ups had our joy stolen. We work too hard, we hit burnout, we get a disease, we have a stroke, whatever the reason might be. And because of that, we start focusing so much on the negative event. Again, that's the pollution in your little bottle. And we start losing out on the potential of joy. I'm allowed to say these things because I had a stroke a couple of years ago, about 3-4 years ago. And I remember after that, my biggest concern was, will my life be the same? And I just started getting out of that state. And then I was diagnosed. I was told I've got this growth inside of my head that's impacting the chemical stuff in my brain and all kinds of really weird medical terms. I can't even remember all the terms. And I was seriously depressed for a while because of it. And is my life, oh, what's happening here? But in that moment, what I was doing, I was so focused on the pollution in my little bottle that I blinded myself completely, totally, to the absolute abundance of joy that's really around me. The key to abundance is not to focus on the negative component, not to say to self, I do not have enough, I need to find more. Because the moment we do that, we are self-admitting on a subconscious, deep level that I don't have. Now, the problem with that is, even if you do have, you won't be able to recognize it. I know some of you guys have been in relationships, or you've had a stage in your life where you were extremely healthy. There was a time in my life when I was extremely healthy. I was riding 500-600 kilometers a week on a bicycle. Very, very healthy. But did you notice that in that time, you knew you were healthy, but it's almost as if it didn't click. As if that penny didn't drop of true appreciation of what you were actually experiencing. It was as if I just didn't get it completely. It is only when I got to a stage in my life later on where certain things started happening to my body where I couldn't ride that 500-600 kilometers anymore that I started to miss it, and I started to realize, hold on a second, what I had was fantastic. Holding on to memories sometimes could be your own pollution. Some people get so stuck in what they had, they forget to look at what they have. So even though certain things started happening in my body and I was diagnosed with a whole lot of different things, from a health perspective, I still looked at my body and I said, you know what? I've got abundance of health. I can go for walks, I can go for runs. And my wife and I started doing adventure races, and we started running through the mud and just enjoying the health that we do have. We started taking care of it. And here's the strangest thing. The more we start focusing on what we have, the more we start enjoying it, the more we start enjoying it, the more we want, the more we start doing about it. The more you realize how much love you have, the more love you will experience. The more you start realizing how much joy you have, the more joy you will experience. The more you start realizing how much health you have, the more health you can start experiencing. That's the same rule applied to wealth. Yes, it does. But what does the pollution in the bottle for wealth look like? The pollution in the bottle for wealth is a very simple concept. It's a concept based, once again, on your internal dialogue, your deeper belief system. Now, I know people that started a business. I know a lot of people that started a business. But let's assume someone starts a business and they come up, and I had a client like this, and they came up and they made a brilliant shoe design. Brilliant. Highly durable, extremely cost effective, and it looked amazing. Now, let's ask a simple question. Did this business succeed or not? Did they experience an abundance of wealth or not? You see, what a lot of people do is they have brilliant ideas. They come up with a great product. They've got the perfect area of life where their natural abilities, where their passion and the need for the product in the market collides, and it hits a very beautiful sweet spot. But let's imagine this guy with a shoe shop, lives in a small village, and there's only 300 people in the village. And he opens a little store in one of the small back alleys in this little village. How many shoes will he sell? Will he experience true wealth? Not necessarily. You see, the key in wealth is how big is your vision? How great is your goal? How big is your plan? Or have you decided that fear, because of something that's happened in your past, fear of lies and potential signals you're seeing on the outside is influencing you and diluting your vision? If you allow fear to be your master, you are diluting your potential to experience true abundance in wealth. You see, wealth has got a very specific mindset. Wealth has an enormous vision. Wealth does not experience failure. There's merely feedback and lessons learned. Wealth is never a final destination. Wealth is always an ongoing journey. When I talk to people very often, they say, I wish I could win the lottery. Well, a lotto mindset is not a wealth mindset. I'll just say that again, because some of you guys are still going to do that scratchy with your cards this weekend. A lotto mindset is not a wealth mindset. A lotto mindset is based on, if I'm lucky, I might have the moment, and then all my problems go away. Well, that's not wealth. That's just having temporarily a huge amount of money in the bank account. You see, that's not wealth. Wealth is when you get to a position in life where you are emotionally mature to start managing what you actually experience, what you have. When you're at a position in life where you start realizing that you're extremely wealthy. Because most of you guys live in absolute abundance of wealth. But you just don't recognize it yet. What do I mean? Well, let me ask you a simple question. The house you live in, does it have a floor made of concrete or tiles or a possible carpet? Or does it have cow manure that has been stamped down? Which one does it have? Or straw bales that has been packed on the floor? What's the floor made of? What's the walls made of? Sticks and mud? Branches? Poles? Or is it built with bricks and a strong structure? Does your house have a roof? Does the roof have a ceiling? Or is it just a metal plate with bricks on top of it? Does it have a ceiling? Does your house have windows that you can open and close and doors that you can lock? Do you have a heater or air conditioner or a fan or some kind of electronic tool, mechanism, piece of equipment that can assist you in controlling the temperature inside of the house? You're not just, you're not wealthy. You're living in an abundance of wealth. We have become so absolutely spoiled by the affluence we live in that we have totally forgotten to appreciate it in its true sense. How do you get to work? Do you walk 150 kilometers? Or do you get in a car, turn a key, or some of you even press a little knob, and then you get there? Or are you one of those that is in such a beneficial state you can actually work from home? How amazing must that be? What a blessing. That's wealth. You see, what we need to do for us to experience more wealth in life, we need to start appreciating what we have. For us to experience true abundance in any area of our lives, the first step is to fully recognize and appreciate what we have. You want more love? Recognize and appreciate what you have. Do you want more joy? Recognize and appreciate what you have. Do you want more health? Recognize and appreciate what you have. Do you want more wealth? Recognize and appreciate what you have. You see, the moment we start doing that, what we're actually doing is we're starting to reprogram our brains. Let me explain this quickly. I'm sure most of you have listened to motivational speakers, transformational speakers, and one of the things that usually come out of their mouths is surround yourself with powerful people. Have you ever wondered why they say that? They say that for a very simplistic reason. And the reason is because powerful people, successful people, speak abundance language. And what happens when we subject ourselves to an abundance conversation and listen to the words they use, it sinks deep into our subconscious brains, and our own internal dialogue becomes one of an abundance language, and then it starts manifesting in our lives even more and more. But here's the trick. You can change and alter your own internal language through a simplistic attitude of true and authentic gratitude for what you already have. The moment you start appreciating that, life starts changing. I remember a talk I did on abundance, and someone said to me, yes, Dion, I have abundance. You know, every time I go out in the garden, There's a specific plant I have, and it makes the most beautiful flower. And I always look at the flower and I appreciate the flower. Now that's all great. But you see, an abundance mindset looks at a flower completely different. Because my question was, on that same plant, how many flowers are there? No, there's many. All right, well, do you notice all of them? Or do you choose only a specific one? No, yeah, no, well, all right. Well, apart from the flowers, have you noticed the leaf? Have you looked at the pattern of the leaf? Have you looked at the absolute dynamic and magnificent detail in a simplistic thing like a leaf? Have you looked at the plant and noticed maybe there's a small spider or a small little insect? And have you observed them and realized how magnificently glorious, busy they are, structured? Have you allowed yourself to have an experience of full abundance when you can look at something so simplistic as a plant? Have you ever allowed yourself to go sit outside on the lawn and take a 1 square meter of grass in front of you and just looked at it for an hour? Or are you too busy on the social medias looking for likes? A true abundant mindset is not a mindset that only serves you in an area where you need love. It doesn't only serve you in joy. It doesn't only serve you in health. It doesn't only serve you in wealth. A true abundance mindset serves you in every single area of your life. And the moment you start having that appreciation dialogue inside of you, what starts happening is you start recognizing more. Now, here's the one thing that you need to realize. The moment I say you are starting to recognize more, you start recognizing more opportunities to experience. So let's think about love. You're starting to recognize more people that give you love. And you start recognizing more people that you can love. You start recognizing more situations where joy is prevalent. You start recognizing more areas of life where you can improve your own personal health. You start recognizing more opportunities in life where you can improve your wealth. An abundance mindset is an opportunity mindset. An abundance mindset is not stuck in rules and history and memories. An abundance mindset says, whatever happened in my past, everything is a learning curve, and it serves me today. Because today I have a behavior, I have decisions, I have choices, I have actions that is influencing my tomorrow. And I am living not in the past, I am living in the moment. But I've got my eyes on tomorrow. And I have that deep understanding. I'm not a victim of a fear or a negative emotion or a negative self-talk that was created by something in my life that happened 20 years ago. I understand sometimes things don't go the way I planned. You see, nobody promised us life's going to be a bed of roses and a walk in the park. Life throws us curveballs. Welcome to the club. It's not the fact that the curveballs are coming, it's the fact what we do to them. You've got two choices. You can lie down and die, or you can get up and live. It's a simple principle. But the moment we say get up and live, it's getting up with an attitude and an internal dialogue of I'm not just getting up, I'm getting up with massive action. I'm getting up with a reborn attitude. I'm getting up with a completely new mindset. The previous one I had, thank you to this incident, was clearly too small. Because if a simple incident can knock me over, I wasn't big enough. So let's expand. Let's think bigger. So ask you a simple question. How many people can you find in the next 48 hours to love? See, the cool thing about love, here's the beautiful thing about love. There's a part deep in your subconscious brain and your emotions that does not differentiate between giving and receiving. There's a part of your subconscious brain that doesn't know the difference between giving love and experience or receiving love. You see, love is just something that gets experienced. When you give love to someone else, you know that you are actually experiencing love in that moment. You want more love in your life? Love more people. Go find a tree and hug it. I don't care what you're going to do. Do something where you are giving love. Because the more love, ever that was specifically just for you, mother. The more love you're going to give, the more love you are going to experience in any moment. Joy. How many moments of joy is there? How many possible moments in your life can you experience joy? But yeah, Dion, but you don't understand, eh? I've got a depression problem. No, you don't have a depression problem. You just got a problem. And the problem is that you've told yourself that you've got a depression problem. Do yourselves a favor, guys. Listen to me, and I want you to hear my heart here, please. I'm not saying depression is something that doesn't exist. It absolutely exists, and every single person I have met in my entire life experiences it from time to time. The difference is merely how much do you choose to stay there. No, Dion, I don't choose. That comes. Well, let me tell you a quick secret. This growth I've got inside of my brain, it pushes against the parts of my brain that's supposed to produce dopamine and serotonin. So guess what? Technically, according to a brain surgeon, not to me, I'm supposed to be manic depressive. Okay, so you're on lots of medication. No, I'm not. See, I choose to be a positive person. And I've taught myself to have a positive, inspirational, amazing attitude of gratitude, living a life, looking for opportunities to experience great joy, sharing it with the world, living it in the moment, enjoying music, enjoying walks, enjoying the people I have around me. I've taught my brain to recognize opportunities to have joy. You know what's the great thing about the brain? The more joy you have, the more dopamine and serotonin it starts producing. Isn't that insane? You are not a rock. We are living human beings. We have a magnificent brain. And the brain is in control of what we experience. Your brain is in control of how you interpret your realities and the things that happen to you. You see, there are people in this world that have extremely negative events happen in their lives. But they can look at the event and say, you know what, this event happened. Okay, so what now? I've got two choices in life. I can allow this event to kill me, or I can still experience love. And I can still experience joy. And I can still experience an abundance of health and wealth. Because life does not end the moment you have a negative experience. That's merely a small incident on your entire journey of life. I've had these conversations with people that's had their hearts broken. And they say, my heart was broken. I say, okay, how long ago did that happen? Well, it's 10 years ago and I can't get over it. All right. Well, how long was that moment that you were in that state where your heart was broken? How long was that conversation? Well, 3 minutes. All right. So you're allowing a 3-minute conversation to dictate your life? Like, really? I mean, seriously. Think about it for a moment. Yes, Dion, but you don't understand. My body was harmed. All right. Well, here's another thing. Do you know that every cell in your body replaces itself every year? So if whatever happened to you more than a year ago, guess what? Didn't even happen to the same body. The only thing it happened to is the memory that you're entertaining and carrying around with you and the emotional attachment to it. So what? Yeah. You see, the only power it has is the power you're going to give it. No, but you don't understand how bad it was. Seriously, how bad you want it to be. You know what? There's a difference in this world between reasons and excuses. We are magnificent beings. We are capable beyond our own understanding. We are not cast in stone. We have this wonderful gift called human will. We have the power to make different decisions. We have the ability to experience things differently. We are absolutely the captains of our own ships. Life and external events does not dictate the volume and extreme love, joy, health, and wealth that you can experience. You do. A lot of people think that life is this upward mountain I have to climb to eventually get to this final peak. No, it's not, because you're only going to be on the peak of that mountain for a couple of minutes, and you're going to start the journey down on the other side. Life is the journey, the preparation, and the massive, beautiful journey up the mountain. It is enjoying the moment on the mountain, but it is also enjoying the way down the other side of the mountain. Life is a journey, and every single moment in this journey will give you an opportunity to experience what? Experience more love, experience more joy, experience more health, experience more wealth. It's not a matter of if it's available, it's a matter of do you choose to recognize it? And are you ready to take more and give more?